What's up, guys? So I am reading this book, The Tao of Sexuality by Dr. Stephen T. Chang, and the cool thing about this is in his introduction he has a segue before he gets into this book. He talks about like several other books that he's written on different subjects, because this is the Tao of Sexuality. There's Tao of all these different subjects, and I just had it open. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so it's like the Tao of Healing Art, there's a Tao of Balanced Diet, and he has one in here called the Tao of Forgotten Foods. So one second, this is not going to be the angle I stay at. I just need to pull this up. I'm not going to turn off the camera because I try to do everything in one take if I can. Oh, Lord, the Tao of Success. It's not what I'm looking for. Well, basically, just to kind of like iterate what he's talking about here is the difference between the Tao of Balanced Diet and the Tao of Forgotten Foods is this. The Tao of Balanced Diet has to do with like what you would typically see in someone's diet. So like what are the main foods you eat, how to go about like getting healthy versions of those food or healthiest, how to prepare food in a certain way. The Tao of Forgotten Food, this has to do with like herbs and, you know, different Chinese medicine like that. So some examples would be like, one thing I'm getting into right now is mushrooms. And I know that sounds a little bit weird. I don't mean like psychedelic mushrooms. But what I'm referring to is mushrooms that are known to have like healing ability, like lion's mane, cordyceps, I think that's how you say that. That's used as like a pre-workout and post-workout. So you would take that before you work out or after you work out. There's another one, there's another mushroom, reishi or something with an R, but that is a very calming mushroom. And basically, and if you guys are familiar with turmeric, and, you know, ginger, foods like these are used in teas. They're used to detox. They're used in, people put them in their smoothies. There's this food called Fit Aid, and it is actually, it's sold at my gym, and it's a post-workout drink, and it's not protein. It's called, the term is recovery. It's a recovery drink, and I looked at the ingredients, and that's what it's about. It's an emphasis. All the ingredients are these herbs, these, you know, what you would call herbs seen in Chinese medicine. Now I'm sure, I mean, other parts all around the world they use these foods, but this is a term I'm kind of referencing now because these are very common in Chinese medicine, meaning that these foods have been used for years to treat different, just treat all different ailments, to treat all sorts of illnesses. And in fact, turkey tail mushrooms, from what I've been reading about, or from what I understand, basically this is something, they use turkey tail mushrooms they've been using turkey tail mushrooms in Japan since the 80s to help rid all sorts of cancers and tumors. And there is a famous dude who just did a TED Talk recently that was saying that his mother was 2 months from dying. She was 2 years too late to be basically treated successfully for breast cancer to be healed. And the doctor suggested that she, you know, play with these turkey tail mushrooms because there were studies being done. And her son, you know, this is a coincidence, he who had suggested this to her, his expertise was mushroom medicine. That's what he studies, that's what he's an expert on. And when she had heard it from him, she didn't really take it seriously, but when she heard it from the doctor, she found that connection. She was like, okay, you know, there must be something in what you're saying. I'll put that video down below because it's really cool, and I'll put a timestamp. Basically, these herbs, this Chinese medicine, there's more to it. And what Dr. Chang tries to explain here is basically the difference between some vegetables and these sort of herbs is, what does he say here? When you compare a magnolia tree to a bunch of celery, we will see the tree is much stronger than a little clump of celery. Investigating further, we will find that the tree is of great medical value than the celery. The various properties of the magnolia tree build up the stomach tissues and strengthen the female sexual organs. Ginseng is another example of a strong food. I think I've tried ginseng before, but it has not for years. I think I just had like a ginseng shot or something when I was a kid, or a ginseng tea or something. The various properties, ginseng is another example of a strong food. It grows in cold and harsh mountainous regions, yet it can survive for more than 1,000 years. So imagine what such great vitality could do for your body. Please use discretion when ingesting ginseng. It must be balanced with other herbs since it produces strong side effects as well as benefits. So these are the things like you have to consider too. Is obviously what he's saying is these herbs have survived thousands of years. Like these are tough plants, so you're taking them into your body. So you're taking that toughness into your body, but obviously, you know, you got to do your research because, as he says here, like specific herbs can be really, really kind of heavy on the body if you're not using them properly. So, and then just to compare, he says in sharp contrast, a carrot grows only in temperate climate, and its lifespan is about 3 months. If you do not unearth it within 3 months, it will decay and disappear. Herbs give everlasting strength, whereas regular foods give only temporary strength. So, not dogging on carrots, because carrots are still great, they got great vitamins, but what he's trying to say is, in addition to foods like carrots and, you know, your regular foods which you would consider like a balanced diet, adding things like these herbs, these things that have lasted thousands of years, or 1,000 years, I don't remember what he said, it's still a long time, can be really beneficial for you. And there's really not a lot of, understanding or widespread knowledge of this in the West, but I feel like this is becoming more known. Like if you look into health, like if you look into these things, I mean, there's tons of information on it, and I'm sure there's tons of people on YouTube who talk about this stuff. There's tons of people in alternative medicine, you know, that talk about this, different doctors, different professionals. So the information is out there. It's just, this is more widely known in the East, where this has been practiced for, you know, thousands of years, and this is just kind of more well known. So anyway, just want to share this with you guys. Cool beans, peace, have a good one.